Aloha mai kako, ke alo. Tengan here with this week's weekly rhythm. So this is the extended version, talking a little bit more about what does it mean to go through our patterns of our past effectively, to break these cycles of the self and to break into now a place of ease and grace. Well, patterns are internal. Our patterns are things that happen largely held within the subconscious mind. Something happened early on in life and we created a strategy to effectively survive, right? Thinking about maybe our parents were arguing and that scared us a little bit. And so what we decided to do is perhaps instead of speaking our mind, we decided to shut our mouth, right? And so we withheld and we withdrew. Now, at the time, that made sense as, perhaps we were 4, 5, 6-year-old and we were in that childhood state. However, the thing about that is that then translates within the subconscious mind as a way to live life. And as an adult, in a relationship, withholding, information, withdrawing from the harder conversations is ultimately not going to help us to live, to grow, to thrive. And so these patterns of the past, largely coming from our childhood, held within our subconscious mind, are what's being disrupted. And so in this case, for example, if you were someone who was withholding, you're going to find yourselves in places where that's being drawn out. Perhaps a new relationship with someone who really wants to get to know you and is asking questions that you would rather not answer, and then yet you find yourself answering them, being very open about who you are. If you withdraw, from those hard and more difficult situations, all of a sudden you find yourself smack dab in them, because that is where this disruption comes into play. It's not meant to create chaos. Well, kind of to a certain degree. It is really, though, meant to draw us out and to draw us, the true us, forward. And so as that happens, then what inevitably occurs is we begin to break cycles. Now, these cycles are how we relate to the world around us. And this can happen in terms of our career choice. We're finding that we no longer enjoy what we're doing, even though at one point or another we really, really did. We find that the relationships around us no longer reaffirm what we believe. So perhaps in a relationship that you're in, you're finding that the person that you have been with for 5, 10, 20 years likes that or liked that about you. That you guys sort of skirted over those difficult conversations, or perhaps that you wouldn't share things about you. However, you have changed, right? As I have changed. And so those relationships may begin to feel some tension, because now the person that you were when you got into that relationship, and maybe have been for however many years, is no longer the person that you are. Now, as these cycles begin to break, tension inevitably is felt. You have changed, and so the very dynamic of how you relate to this person, this place, or this thing has changed as well. We're moving this week on into a place of ease and grace. Now, what does that mean, ease and grace? Well, if tension, kind of like a rubber band, pulls and you create this force, right? Almost like drawing a guitar string tight. When it has no tension, it really doesn't make any music. When you start to create tension, all of a sudden, bing, right? And so using grace is now creating slack to a certain degree within this string. We're allowing that area, particularly the areas that are depleting, particularly the areas that are exhausting, are beginning now to wane. And as we have the gumption, set an intention, redirect our attention to release these things that are draining, that are exhausting, and redirect our attention upon things that are easy, that we can move into with grace. So easy just means that it just happens. It's almost happening as we speak. It's occurring. There is a flow, however you want to put it. Instead of feeling your nervous system heightened, instead of feeling like tightness in your chest or quickening and hastening of your breath, it is something that allows you to relax and you feel safe. You feel held. Perhaps you just feel like, man, this doesn't take a lot of energy to do. This person does not require a lot of energy to be with. And as that happens, terrific, because then you can move into it with grace. And all grace means is going in through this place with a certain level of awareness, of reverence. And so you can appreciate what it is that you're experiencing. You can really respect, and not just like REESPECT respect, it's like a soulful respect, you know? It is something that you can see the magic, feel the marvelousness of within it. And so follow those threads from this week on, because we're still in the area of disruption. We're still going to see things disrupted. It's not like once we go through it, we're done. You know, all of a sudden we've completely shifted the very core belief patterns of ourselves. We still hold a lot of that within ourselves. And so as we introduce this now, ease and grace, allow you to move with what is being moved and enter in following those threads of renewal, of what feels restorative, of what feels magical. That's it for now. Love and aloha. Take care. And RHTYHM.